So welcome back to the channel, and this is a customer's PC. He reached out to me and pretty much he told me, hey, the graphics card you sold me is broken. You sold me a broken graphics card, and when you did work to my computer a couple of weeks ago, I think that's what really broke it. So is it a broken graphics card? Is the work I did? I don't know, but it's great when you have a customer that reaches out to you with such enthusiasm to kind of, accuse you of selling them broken parts or breaking their computer. But anyways, so we're gonna dive into it and try to figure out what's going on with this computer. So a little backstory on this graphics card. So this was my old Zotac 3090 Ti, fantastic graphics card, and I sold it about 6 months ago for $500, and I upgraded to a 4080 Super. I had some trade credit and a whole bunch of other things. There's a dedicated video on that, so I'll post a link if you're interested on that. But they bought this graphics card from me, yeah, I think it was about 6 months ago. Now, I didn't offer any warranty, and I have this rule. If you buy a computer part from me and I don't install it, I don't warranty the part. Typically, what I'll do is I'll give them a demonstration, a video, all that type of stuff, and then once they take the part from me and install it in their own computer, I don't offer warranty. And hear me out. What if they short it out, they damage it, crack it, break something? Yeah, I can't warranty a part that I didn't install. So that's kind of my rule of thumb when it comes to selling computer parts. Now, if they bring it over and I install it, which if they buy the part from me, I don't charge an installation fee. I just install it for them, especially like a $500 graphics card. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But if they allow me to install it or choose that option, then I warranty it and I give them 3 months for the part. But I didn't install it. It's been 6 months. So yeah, I didn't sell them a broken part. But I give them A for effort for trying. And this is why you have to have a contract with your customers. So there were the contract. Once I sent in that contract, he calmed down just a smidge. So then he went the other route. Hey, well, you did work on my computer a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and that's when things started acting wonky. No, because after I did some work to it, I stress tested it and that was good to go. So this computer is pretty nasty and gross, and I did recommend to the customer, hey, you might want to get this thing dusted out or, pay me for that service fee. And he didn't want to do it. He says, I just need you to kind of, do some maintenance on it. And his maintenance was Windows updates, graphics card drivers and all other types of drivers, a BIOS update. He just wanted everything up to date, clean up some of the bloatware and all that type of stuff. I mean, kind of like an oil change, he just brought it in for a quick oil change. It has a leak, but he just wanted me to change the oil. Same situation. Computer's dirty and nasty, but he just wanted me to do updates. So whatever. But it's funny that the computer worked great for 2 weeks and all of a sudden it stopped working. Yeah, maybe if he would have called me that night, I would have believed him. So I told the customer, I said, listen, if you want me to look at it and fix it, it's gonna be my $60 diagnostics fee. That's what I charge. I don't have overhead and it's served me pretty well. And whatever's wrong with it, we'll bill accordingly. So of course, send them a copy of the contract, and the contract pretty much states that this is what you owe me. If you fail to pay and the computer is abandoned more than 90 days because abandoned property laws, all that type of stuff in my state, learn your state, then the computer becomes mine. So what's pretty interesting about that is that the guy actually gave me the $60 cash. So he's not abandoning this. He wants me to fix it. So I went ahead. I pulled out my old invoice from when I sold him this computer. I built this computer for him about 2 years ago, so I know what parts it has and everything that it has. The only thing that's changed on it is the 3090 Ti. And then 2 weeks ago, when I did the work on it, I also notated exactly what it had and what I had to do for it. So at least I have to rule out the variable that this thing has been swapped or the guy's trying to get over. I would say that the guy is not trying to scam or anything like that. I've dealt with the guys for a year. He's just very passionate about things, to say it nicely. But anyways, we need to turn this on, verify the customer complaint, and find out, is the graphics card bad or is it something else? So let's dig in. All right, so let's open this up and let's see if I remember correctly how pretty intense this computer is. Yeah, the camera doesn't really do justice, but that's pretty gross. It looked like it snowed here, so yeah. Now, I offered to clean this for him 2 weeks ago, and I was going to charge, and hear me out. I mean, if the computer's like light dirty, I'll do it for free, but this is caked pretty good. Let's see if the camera gives you a better idea. Yeah, you can kind of see right there. Yeah, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. The graphics cards, the fans, everything, yeah. So it's gonna take me time, and actually he did agree for me to go ahead and clean it out. So we will be doing that today. But before we do that, I want to verify the customer's complaint as is before I touch anything. Because sometimes you start tinkering with things around and then you accidentally fix it. That's definitely not ideal. I want to know what's wrong, so then we can say we fixed it, like knowingly. So the customer's complaint is he turns the computer on and yeah, no display. The symptom that he got before this was that he was using it and went to do a Windows update and it froze. So I don't know. Let's see. Computer fires up. Do I need to turn my monitor on? Sometimes I got to turn this joker on. I know I hit the button. There we go. And just like the customer stated, no video. So let's dive in. Now, the good thing about this motherboard is it does have the debug LED. I don't know if I could get it in camera, but it's actually up there behind the AIO. And as you can see, I think we have 0D in an orange light. So I'll have to look it up and see what that is. All right, so looking it up on the interweb, 0D, it says RAM training failure or CPU failure or something to that effect. And I'll post it on the screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start very simple and reset the memory. You know, folks, this thing is pretty gross. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just give this a quick dusting for now. Obviously later on we'll have to get more in depth because they did pay for that service. So let's go ahead and, you know, really get this stuff in and all over the garage. Great. All right, that should be a lot better. And like I said, we'll dive more into it. Probably not in this video, but yeah, off camera, I will clean this. We're more focused on the diagnosis. Now, typically you get lucky and all you gotta do is reseat the RAM and that's pretty easy. But this AIO is kinda in the way. Or is in the way. But for the sake of not wanting to mess with this cable management and the fact that I can't get this thing out, I think we're just going to go ahead and reset the BIOS. Yep, let's do that. So where is the clear CMOS on this one? Folks, I should have done more research on this motherboard because yeah, it's right in my face. I didn't have to take out the graphics card. Yeah, clear CMOS. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll hold it for a few seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. All right, that should be good enough. And because I don't feel like dealing with old Chungus, the graphics card, we're just gonna pop in the faithful, my most favorite, the GT 1030. Is this a 7? Is this the 1030? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the 1030. I do have a 710 that I sometimes use, but you know, I just like the 1030. We fixed many computers together. Maybe this one too. All right, that'd be a lot easier than swapping that card and getting that connector out. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead, let's fire her up. We'll have to do some BIOS retraining. Well, that didn't seem to work, unfortunate. But I do want to check. So looking up there, we got a code 91. All right, time to keep diving in. We're gonna have to finagle with this AIO because it's just not gonna happen any other way. And that way you can kind of see what I'm working with over here. It's just not gonna work. So we'll be doing cable management later. That's always great. I mean, I do have to take this thing apart to clean it, so yeah, I guess I would have been doing this anyway, but I'd really rather just fix the issue first. Whoops. Before I go down this rabbit hole. But you know. Oh, maybe it's not that bad. I could have done this from day one. All right, so let's go ahead and reseat the RAM. Sometimes that's the thing, you know? This is the G-Skill Trident Z DDR4 3600. Everything looks good. No funky smells. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is just put one stick of memory in here and see what that does. All right. Pretty sure I can leave this computer kind of like that. Will all my stuff reach? Actually, okay, that should work there. Let's pop you in. We got power. Let's fire her up. There's actually a start button right in there. Hit the start button. Will we get a display? Hey. More than likely, it's an issue that the RAM had to be reseated. I've had that happen, no big deal. Maybe it just got loose while they were moving their computer or something like that. Worst case scenario, one of these sticks of RAM is bad. So let's turn this thing off. Let's pop this one out. Pop this one in. Flick the power, hit the start, and away we go. Will this one work? All right, so we're doing pretty good. Both sticks work by themselves, but will they get along? Will they play nice together? So now, flick the power, take the other stick, drop it in just like so. Power on, hit the start button. Round 3. Will they play nice together? Come on. You guys know you want to play nice. Bingo. Well, that was weird. Okay. All right, there we go. So is it that simple? Is it just the RAM needed to be reseated? Now, it wasn't loose. It didn't come disconnected or anything like that. I did push down. I didn't hear no crunchies or, you know, clicks. So, yeah. Sometimes it's that simple because when I reset the BIOS, it still didn't do anything. So let's go ahead off camera, put this thing back together, clean it up a little more, and let's see if it's stable. All right, folks. So I'm done with this computer. I'm a little annoyed right now. So the computer boots into Windows, but you got to put in the password. I lost the paperwork where I wrote down the password. I called the customer and I asked him, hey, what was that password again? And now he doesn't want to give it to me. I'm not sure what's wrong with this dude. And I told him, I says, without the password, I can't log in, I can't stress test it, and I can't make sure or guarantee my work. And the reason why I need to log in and stress test it is because I want to simulate or replicate exactly what happened when this computer got messed up. He said it happened during a Windows update. So I want to take a look at the event log and all that good type of stuff, put a stress on it, make sure that this memory is not going bad or if there's another issue. But yeah, I'm unable to do that. I can't guarantee my work. And I told that to the customer. I said, listen, I can't guarantee my work. I don't know why you're being paranoid about the password or anything like that. And he said, nope, it's fine. And yeah, so I told him, come pick up the computer. And then moving forward, I probably won't be doing much computer work for him anymore. And I guess he agreed. I don't know if he's mad at me. I don't know. And this is why sometimes dealing with customers are frustrating. Side note, he did pay me. So that's cool on that. But this is the frustration sometimes with customers. You have really good customers that, I mean, you treat them well, they treat you well. It's a great working relationship. And I love dealing with them, talking to them. And then you have customers like this that blame you for their computer and their computer problems and then just act weird. But yeah, that's the fun of the PC repair world. So as far as I'm concerned, maybe the RAM reseating was the issue and we just had to reseat it and that fixed it, but I'm still not 100% sure because I don't know if it's a temperature issue. I mean, I did clean this thing. I didn't take it apart. I didn't take out the thermal paste or anything like that. I just did a dusting on it. And I told him I was just going to do a dusting because I didn't want to redo the thermal paste or anything like that without information. I need data. I need before, I need after. But if I can't get that information, there's not much I can do. And yeah, I don't get it. So with all that being said, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, concerns, criticisms. For those of you that do PC repairs, do you have wonderful customers like this? How do you deal with them? And what do you think was actually wrong with this computer? If you like this video, definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and as always, we'll see what we come up with next.